Hey everybody, it's Alex over at Jet Lending, and today we are going to go over how to evaluate a property. And really, it goes over you're looking at a property and you may buy it. How you have already are having a contract. Maybe you're getting a lot of emails about properties coming your way to possibly buy as a landlord or a flipper. But as you're going through the motions and you're looking at things like that, you may feel that you're lacking in how to evaluate a deal on, especially its repairs. We did a few videos this week and last about like calculating the value for after repaired value and profit margin stuff, but some things that still lack even the most seasoned investor is what to look for when you're evaluating a property, like on repairs. So a couple things that you should look at, and some of the things we go over may not change its value as much, but it will change your repairs if you don't look at them and take a good idea of what it could cost. The first thing I want to, and I'm actually going to show you a picture. First thing I'm going to show you is what's called Cedar shake. These are Cedar shake roofs, okay? So what you can look at here is basically a good picture for it would be this. Basically, they're wood planks, okay, made out of cedar, and they line them up, they put them on the roof, and you go about your day. All right. Here's the problem with a Cedar shake roof: you can't insure them, okay? And sometimes, they don't just know that sometimes people do things to homes that should not be done. Maybe they're not permitted, or they hire somebody, or hell, they may do it themselves. In any case, one of the key things you should do when evaluating a potential property that you're going to look to purchase, either to flip or to rent, is look to see if the house is or was Cedar shake. And how you do that is you're going to go look up, and you're going to go pull down the attic stairs. You're going to look up, and if you see things like this right here, over here on this side, underneath, you have Cedar shake. So you actually may look like you have a 30-year roof on top of that. Somebody just laid something on top of the Cedar shake roof instead of tearing it off because it was cheaper that way. If you have that, you have to tear the roof off now. That substantially changes your repair budget when you're evaluating properties. Don't get into a deal and not know about this roof issue, because one of the worst things that can happen, especially if you're a holder of investment real estate, is water damage. Now, there's not much you can do about flood, water coming from the ground up. But water coming from the sky down, like from a pipe issue or a roof issue, can really cause havoc to an investment property. So knowing what type of roof you have is imperative. My advice to you, especially even in the cost structure of things, always get quotes on a 30-year architectural dimensional shingle. Some of you guys look at 20 and 25 year. It's not what you're saving, like 400, 500 bucks. It looks really bad. And you don't get the mileage out of it at all. Please go 30-year architectural dimensional shingle. Even at Jet Lending, we won't even reimburse unless you do a 30-year, just how important it is. So always look, one of the things when you evaluate a property, look to see if there's Cedar shake roofs. The next thing you got to worry about is, so you have these big four. You got your roof, you got your foundation, you got your HVAC, and you got your well and septic if you have it. Okay, next thing we'll look for is a foundation issue. So again, these are one of some like really key signs here. Something like this, you see a crack in the wall here. You're seeing these cracks come through. You have most likely a foundation issue. Now, has the foundation issue been remedied? I don't know. That's where any foundation company worth their salt will give you a warranty and certificate plus a map of the piers. So if someone tells you, well, we fixed it already, you're going to be, that's fantastic. So can I have a warranty and certificate, which those warranties should transfer to the owner, which is you, and a map of the piers in which they place. If they don't have that, most likely the job may have not been done well. Because sometimes when there is foundation repair, like you may see something like this, like a stepstone crack outside, if you're seeing things crack right through the brick, you have something more probably severe. But if you're seeing that kind of stuff, sometimes when they repair it, it causes other cracks to show up. So always just make sure that if you're seeing cracks in the walls, if you're seeing cracks on the outside foundation, or even through the brick exterior, make sure you get that information. And that's not saying that you should shy away from homes like this. These are the homes that you guys should be buying, but you have to buy them correctly enough to warrant the fix of that. So your next mode of operation would to make sure to get a good foundation repair bid from a licensed and bonded foundation repair company that will offer you a warranty and certificate plus a map of the piers. Okay. Some of the other things that we're going to discuss today on evaluation is HVAC. All right. Now here's the big question on HVAC. Let's say you're buying a house and there's no HVAC in it. The question is, well, do I put it in? Well, that depends. Okay, so when you're evaluating these properties, you have to also look at the comparables in which you're trying to sell the property or refinance it. If your properties have HVAC that you're using as comps, yours has to have it too. Okay, so when you're looking at your comparables, if you're seeing a bunch of window units, sometimes even split units, those are the ones that you'll see like above a window or on a wall, or if you guys have ever been to like a resort, like in the islands or something like that, and you'll see them in your hotel room. That's fine, but as long as your other comparables have them as well. So you got to see, am I putting a condenser in? Am I rerouting all my my tubing and everything like that goes, the vents and stuff like that go through the house? So when you're looking at these properties, make sure you look at your comparables to see if HVAC is warranted on evaluating a property before you start calculating your estimates. Because if you need to do this, it's one of the things you can't skimp on. The last of your major four is going to be well and septic. Now, you'd be surprised, even in the city of Houston, some of these properties have a septic system. Okay, so always don't just assume that, well, I'm in the city of Houston, I don't have a septic system. Some of these places do. Okay, and a septic system can run you up to 40 grand. Okay, that's a big costly mistake if you have a issue with a septic system. So if you ever have a property that has a septic system on site, the best thing to do is not so much get an inspection of the septic system, is to find a licensed and bonded well and septic repair company and have them come out and inspect it that way to see, is it running? If so, how well is it running? Does anything need to be replaced? If it does, that can count as your bid, because at least you'll know how much it's going to cost to fix this property, especially if you're going to hold it. These are the kind of things that you should be fixing in the beginning, so you don't have to fix it while somebody's living in there when the real issues come to play. Okay, so it's not so much getting an inspection. We're all buying distressed real estate. Having an inspector check it out is not a bad thing. But what you should really do is have your contracting team go out there and tell you how much it's going to cost to fix everything, because that's the real issue. Not the fact that something is broken. Most likely you're buying a house that basically probably looks like it's not currently on fire. So what it looks like now is irrelevant. How much is it going to cost to fix to what I wanted to make is the main issue. A couple other things for evaluation. So those are your big four. Remember, well and septic, HVAC, roof, and foundation, because those are your big four things that cost the most money, and you need warranties and certificates to exchange over to your buyer, or if you're holding it, to hold for your lender to make sure they were done correctly. A couple other things you should look about when you're evaluating real estate. Biggest thing that will deter value is if this property is on a busy street. So if you're living in Houston and you have a property on Ella, and you have a property on TC Jester, you have a property on a major street, you have you have one of those roads where one way and the other way. I know roads work, they both go different ways, but there's a median in there. You can't even go to the other side of the street. You have to kind of make a U-turn to get to the house. A house on a busy street is statistically worth 20% to 25% less than houses 3 to 5 houses away from the busy street into the subdivision. So if you actually have a house on a busy street and you're comping the subdivision, you have to allow probably at least minimum a 20% reduction in value of the subdivision average to that busy street. It's really best to comp properties on that busy street about 1,000 units plus or minus. Like, let's say your house is 3,000 TC gesture. Well, you'd look at 4,000 to 5,000. So, because these busy streets, the way the houses change, you drive 5 minutes, you're in a totally different area. So you can't just take all of it. Just take a section of it to say, okay, what it's sold here and make sure the house is within the finishes in what you're doing. A lot of times you're not going to find a ton of comps on that street. They may not sell as much. So you're going to take comps within the subdivision and you're going to reduce that average price to compare to where it's called the obsolescence in an appraiser, but the deferred value of it being on a busy street. And I know what you can say. You're going to say, oh, I want a half moon driveway, and nobody cares. It's easier. I'm telling you, you should do that, but it's still going to be worth less. The half moon driveway is not going to add the value. It's just going to probably help your days on market. So you're probably going to hold that property more. So your holding costs are going to be up, and it's probably going to be worth a little bit less because of the issue of being on a busy street. If you're spending about $500,000 on a house, you got a lot of options. So not to say that you guys should be deterred from busy streets. You should just buy them in regards to where they're placed and what their value is. Okay. Another thing that you should be considered now, when you're talking about residential real estate and commercial real estate, another thing for evaluation, they have to be evaluated differently. So understanding that commercial real estate by definition could be 5 units or up. 1 to 4 units is single family still. So if you are in a single family residence and you are adjacent to or facing, meaning next to, commercial, which is an apartment complex, gas station, a liquor store, an HEB, that's actually going to deter your value. It's not going to increase your value. But quite the opposite for commercial real estate, whether it's residential commercial, which is like an apartment complex, or a multifamily, or even mixed use commercial, or a storage facility, or whatever that's not 1 to 4 single family. That would actually increase your value. So if you are let's say you have this gorgeous house, but it's smack across the street from an apartment complex, it's going to deter some value. Okay, you got an $800,000 house, and everything else is selling for $800,000. Most likely, that house that's across the street from Target is not $800,000. You got to be aware that that's going to deter some value. So look around and look where your comps and what they can see. Is there power lines in your yard? That's going to deter some value. That's going to probably increase a little bit of days on market. You got to be kind of like a little detective. Like I always tell you guys, you always have to take your consumer hat off and put your investor hat on. And this time you kind of have to wear both. What would I think if I had this beautiful home and there was nothing but power lines in the center of the backyard? Is that going to, it's going to deter some people. That's an argument too for when you're negotiating your purchase price. I understand in this market it's hot, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be profitable. So you only buy things that make you money. So don't get caught up in the trap of overpaying for something because you just want a deal. You want the right deal. Okay, and that's why we're talking about going over evaluations. When you're evaluating properties and they are on a subdivision and there is a golf course, lake, or ocean, okay, make sure you evaluate properties. If your property is in the woodlands and it's not on the golf course, don't use the golf course comps. If your property's on Galveston and you're next to the water, like you can see it, you can walk to the water, don't use that. It's Johnny. We're live here.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the world.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Just saying, hey,
Johnny.
You ain't got an electric screwdriver, do you?
Suzanne does.
No, it's off. I can't find it.
Okay. No, I'll help him get his electric screwdriver later. So what we're saying, oh yeah, so if you're living in Galveston, let's say like you're like even Bolivar, and you're on the water, but then there's also homes across the street. Don't use the water pumps, okay? Make sure that you have amenities that are like to your comps. So when somebody's telling you something's worth something, is it worth something because it has an amenity that nobody else has? And I know this sounds simple, but sometimes luck favors the prepared, and sometimes you got to be Captain Obvious and remind people. Sometimes you're moving so fast, you need to be reminded, hey, by the way, did you see this? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that you guys are protected when you're looking out there, because I know you guys are probably moving faster than you ever had to in a long time. Okay? So just kind of like recap. There's so many things that we can go over. But I'm going to recap these few. Is there HVAC issues? Is there a cedar shake roof you have to rip off anyway? Or roof issues in general? Is there a foundation issue? And if so, was it repaired? Do you have transferable warranties and certificates? Is there well and septic issues that need to be repaired? Am I adjacent to or facing commercial properties in a residential area? Am I on a busy street? Am I comping amenities that I don't have? Somebody has a boat dock on Lake Conroe, and I'm just near the lake. I can't use that comp. Okay, don't do that to yourself. That's one of the reasons why we do so much analysis for our clients in the beginning. We comp them, we let them know what we think, why we think it. Doesn't mean we're right all the time, but we just try to protect people. And that's what we're trying to do, these education videos, to really help people make more money. Okay. So if you're, the last thing I'll say is have a team around you. You should have some contractors, some people you guys can call. There's plenty of turnkey people in the area. You got Fast Track, you got Bang It, you got Rise Construction, you got a bunch of turnkey people that'll go out and look at properties for you and tell them what they think and what it's going to cost. You should have people in your pocket for like painting and repairs and plumbing. Just get these people out there. Even if you have to lock something up, and then you take a chance. But get these people out there, starting to get comfortable about what things cost. Even if you don't have a property yet, you can come say, hey, by the way, if I had a PEX house, a 1,500 square foot house, how much would that cost? And you have that in your mind. How much per square foot would adding a new room be? And you have that in your ideas. You can start making calculable numbers. You may not have anything today, but you can easily contact these people. Say, well, it's going to cost this. At least you know. And yeah, things change and prices change, but at least you have an idea on how you can evaluate better and move forward. So take a look at the videos we did about comping, how to evaluate properties, how to evaluate profit margins. Hopefully today helped as well. If you're still confused or you're like, you didn't go over what I needed, get in contact with us. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us. You can do whatever thing that you need for you to be successful. 281-872-7800, info@jetlending.com. Go to our website. You can chat on our website. You can chat on our Facebook. In fact, if you guys are watching this, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube page where all our educational content is. Say hi to us. We just want to help you. So just let us know how we can get things done for you in a better way. We'll keep pumping out this education for you so you guys can make better deals and make more money faster. Well, we'll probably see you tomorrow, and I hope you guys are having a good day. Talk to you later.